but maybe it doesn't work.
There's someone that's here actually.
Oh, that's exciting.
Hi, Carrie. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, I think. Welcome to Office Hours. Hi.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So this is very personal.
Yeah, it's just us in here offering office hours. How are you?
Oh, I
Where
appreciate
are you?
that. I'm in New York,
Nice.
Greenwood Lake, just a little north of the city by about an hour,
Nice.
going upstate. Yeah,
Cool.
Fantastic. It's beautiful up there.
it is. Yeah, it is. But I dream of going to other places too. So,
Awesome. Well, what questions can we answer for you today about private practice, about business school?
Yeah, I want to do the business school. It's just like I have so many things going on at once, and I know you don't need to hear that. I'm sure you hear a lot. Let me see. I wrote down one question. I wasn't sure if I would have. Let me see. Oh, I guess it was just a note about how much what would work for me right away. I've just been so backlogged. I get a lot of calls. I try to keep it as a small little practice. I came off of I did BetterHelp for close to a year, got rid of that. Yeah, crazy, awful. And I am on other insurance panels, but I think it would be ideal if I could. Although I don't know how many people can be in therapy. And listen, I have so appreciated your workshops. I've attended a couple, I think. And I printed out a worksheet. I just kind of feel like I don't necessarily have ADHD, but I'm kind of spinning around over the past few years and taking on new things. And that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're not alone in terms of like working with BetterHelp, really overworking, kind of leaving the experience feeling like a little bit spun out. Like meaning like it's sort of like you get into this like running kind of space, and then even as you kind of slow down, your brain is still feeling kind of panicked. And creating a private practice that like really fits for you and that is sustainable, where you're getting the right amount of calls, you know how to turn off the calls when you are full, and how to turn on the calls when you need to fill up a spot, where you feel really good about which insurance contracts that you're accepting and which ones you're saying no to. Because even if you want to have a hybrid practice, when you're saying yes to an insurance contract because you think you must take that insurance contract, but it pays you, let's say 35% of what your actual fee needs to be, right? That's not sustainable. And clinically, right, if you're being paid at 35%, that means you have to see 3 times as many people, right?
Yeah.
And that isn't workable. So like, how do we find a balance where we hold to our clinical knowing of this is how many clients I can give really good service to, right? How do I do my best to divest from any insurance company that is just being insulting and say,
yeah, really. Oh,
absolutely not. And can I allow that to put pressure on the insurance companies? Because the insurance companies are obligated not to us, but to their clients, to their customers and patients, which is the insurance holders. They have no obligations to us as business owners. None.
Or even the members,
Well, but the members, they do. They can
a
go
little
through
bit.
with the insurance commissioner, yeah, because the members are paying them money. And so when the member says, hey, you have what's called a phantom network. A phantom network is illegal. And a phantom network obviously says, hey, we have 50 therapists for you. And then you call all 50 of them and they say, no, I'm not, I don't have any space. I'm not taking them. I dropped them 2 years ago. I dropped them 5 years ago. And that is happening. There are multiple lawsuits in multiple states regarding these issues of phantom networks, right? So they have some obligations to those members, They don't have obligations to pay us a living wage.
Mhm.
They don't have obligations to even pay us minimum wage. Because we are 1099 contractors, we are completely
Uh-huh.
divested from all of that. So you could do work for this insurance company. You could work 30 hours a week. They could not pay you, or they could recoup all the money that they gave you. And
Yes,
there's
yeah.
nothing to protect you. So can we, as professionals, as people who really want to keep doing this work, can we go, all right, there's some pieces in here. I want to be accessible, but I don't want to be so accessible that I'm living on the street. I don't want to be so
Mm.
accessible while these top 5 insurance companies, they made $40 billion in profit
Yeah,
in
it's just
1
so
year.
insane. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
bullshit.
It's right. It's true. It's horrible, really appalling.
Where do you feel
Yeah.
you're most stuck, Carrie?
Oh, do you know, honestly, um, I think being connected is so critical because I've always worked with teams and I've been working solo for about 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing because that connection helps me to stay, I think, on track on one hand and motivate. So I think, yes, I am feeling spun out. And there is a little bit of panic with the insurance companies. I'd rather be removed from them and be comfortable with just seeing clients who are fee for service,
Mm-hmm.
and willing to pay my fee.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So what
I
is
do shortchange myself, but I have a little bit of a panic about recoupment and, insurance getting
Mhm.
into client and therapy material and
So what has stopped you from just making that transition so far? Like,
huh, I don't know.
oh,
Most clients want that I have calls for are insurance,
right.
clients, and they wanna use their insurance.
Right. Well, are you doing other kinds of marketing or?
I use Psychology Today, which
Mhm.
over where I am on the East Coast seems to be pretty, I get a
Mhm.
pretty healthy response. I'm also on Alma, but I really only see one client who's in the Alma group, and I do get a lot of calls from Alma
Mhm.
on my listing, but I'd like eventually to drop that
Mhm.
because, yeah, there is a fee that I'm really not utilizing them except for the listing and the one client.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
but I guess I need to work on that piece of being comfortable taking a fee from a client,
Right.
out of, a cash pay or however you call it, and not having insurance involved. Like, I myself would not wanna pay. I have myself seen therapists not using insurance just over the years, years
Mhm.
ago, and
Yeah. So what do you need to work on that? I think that's the thing, right? So a lot of people like come to us after they've tried doing it on their own and like they've been working on it in their head a lot,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
right? Without community support, without, some embodiment practices, like
Yeah.
sometimes we think we're working on it because we're worrying about it
Oh,
or
I
we
know,
think
you're
about
right,
it a
it's just a
lot,
drain, just
right?
a
Like
drain.
thinking about it a lot feels like we're working on it, but it's sort of what is going to be different to help you actually create something that's more aligned for you. Because Miranda
Mhm.
and I are not going to be like, you have to get off insurance, do this,
Yeah.
it you need to be in a place, right? We want to help you get to that place where your heart is open to that and your mind is
Mhm.
like ready for that. All of you is on board because
I
otherwise you're going
think
to
I need to
move.
get traction. Yes, and I think
Yes,
this would be helping me to get traction where I
yes,
could
yeah,
titrate down the insurance clients, keeping the practice small enough so that the work is still enriching
yeah.
and meaningful,
Mhm,
and not, churned out and,
mhm.
incorporating more fee-paying clients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to give yourself the opportunity to have that, like really understanding if you were to do something like this, right? What would it mean for you, not just for your clients, but also for your whole life of like finding that confidence, getting clear, finding the traction, right? Instead of spinning up in here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you have any questions about business scores or anything that we can do to support or?
Let me see. I think, yeah, I guess I'm not sure. Maybe it's a question or a statement. The business school would help me, and I know you've been very clear on everything you've sent out and in the workshops. Um, but they give you your course gives step by step.
Mhm.
I don't want to say instructions, but I guess guidance.
Yeah,
Maybe instruction. Yes,
yeah.
I could use some of that.
And
But
coaching, yeah.
also, yeah, I need that. Oh, I think there is still something too, because I've had years and years. I left New York State government 4 years ago, so I'm deinstitutionalizing
Yeah.
myself
Mhm, mhm.
from the mental health piece. So I kind of like know, but I'm removed from that piece of it
Right.
mentally, and
Sure.
I don't want to copy that necessarily.
Right, but you kinda already have, right? Like, involving, like, insurance companies and all that, that's that same system, right? That
Yeah,
there's a
that feeling something's
right.
over you, and yes.
Uh-huh. So you have copied that kind of in your practice. So how do you get out from underneath it, right? So yes, it
Yeah.
is step
Yeah.
by step. There's 8 core benchmarks, and within those are like just even from the fee raise, it's like fill out this form that will
Ah,
calculate this is what your fee should be. Okay, now this is how we have the conversation with the client. This is how we go in order, how you raise new clients, how you raise old clients. Like, yes, everything is step by
mhm.
step. And then with inner circle access, anytime you get stuck, you're like, I don't really feel like doing this, or I don't want to do it, or I'm very scared. Then a coach can help you, with that. And then you have the sprints where we can deep dive and to work together too.
Yeah. So you're going at your own pace as you're moving through the steps. We have like a whole little roadmap for you to follow as a solo practice owner. And then we have weekly office hours. At the moment, we have 2 different coaches that are coming in 2 different days a week. You can post questions at any point, and they
Mhm.
will do a written response or a video response. You'll see their face. They'll make a response just for you, whatever your question is. It could even be as like granular as you're filling out the form and you're like, I just want someone else to look at these numbers. Like, are these really realistic? Did I do something wrong? Like, this fee
Mhm.
actually seems like it's way too much. That's more than I would ever charge. Like, maybe
Mhm.
I missed something. Can you look at it and we can go
Yes.
through and look at your spreadsheet, and go like, oh yeah, like here's the piece. Oh, you could probably switch this, or like, actually, you missed putting retirement for yourself. If you have the retirement from New York government and you don't have to worry about doing anything additional, okay, you're like, no, I got my pension, I got my retirement, that part's set. Then we go, oh, we don't need to include that in your fee. We can just do the other part. That's fine. But we'll ask those kinds of like really granular questions. Then
Okay.
there are monthly Q&As, kind of like this, but with a lot more people,
Mhm.
where people are asking different specific questions, and it's live back and forth. We have weekly co-working, so you can get with a whole group of other private practitioners who are just going through the process. But sometimes it's nice to like just see other people, and you're all kind of working, and you check in every half hour, every hour. We have a facilitator there to keep everybody on track.
Ah,
We have weekly clinical consult groups. So you can come in and be with other people because it can be very lonely clinically. And then we have monthly networking groups. So you can practice kind of coming into that space of like, well, what is it like if I'm not talking about therapy in terms of, well, I take all the insurance companies and, I'm just a really great therapist. But if I'm saying like, hey, here's really like this is what meaningful work is to me. And these are the
mhm.
people that I just deeply, my heart is there and I know how to help them. I know how to get them an amazing outcome. Like, you can come in and practice talking about that, with a safe group of people who are all practicing doing that. So it makes it easier to go out into the world and other places. We give you a website like template. We give you Chat GPT so we can use AI for good. So if you want AI to help you write your marketing message, but we train the AI, and then we also take you through all the internal work of like, well, who am I and what do I want to do? And we take all that information and put it in, and then see what ChatGPT gets out of it, and then adjust it from there, and then have a real private practice coach go over your material and then look at it on your website and say, oh,
Mm.
this picture is great. Oh, it's showing too much of your legs. Let's crop it. I need to see your eyes. Like, we get that specific with you, and we do that for a year. Like,
Wow.
yeah, a year, just step by step, process by process, however fast or slow you want to go. And then, as Kelly mentioned, the quarterly sprints, which are super rad, where we spend 5 days and where it is like all day. We are in there instead of just people popping in twice a week. We have multiple coaches that are in there from like 8 to 4 every single day, Monday through
Wow.
Friday.
It sounds great. It's not just emails or monthly meeting to then do the work, which is, I guess, where I need to be grounded and have that real coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Huh.
sometimes there's a sense of like, and people feel like they have to have it all together before they receive
Yeah.
help, but you need help because you don't have it all together, and that's why we're all human and need each other. And so,
Yeah.
you know, you get to decide, when you reach out, like you get to decide how visible you are, but it's always there for you. You don't have to show up perfectly. You just have to show up.
And is the schedule uh I don't know, there's so many appointments or so many available
Yeah.
supports, right? That it's
There's a monthly group coaching call that's on a schedule. Weekly office hours are throughout the week. So you post your questions whenever and know that within a week they'll be answered, generally speaking. There
Okay.
are some weekly meetups and things like that, but you only do the things that you really feel pulled to do. So just because neurodivergent support group is there doesn't mean that that's where you need to be, right?
I
Co-working
see.
is every week. You may not need co-working every week. The main things we want you to do are posting questions in the office hours and showing up for the group coaching calls. Those are really important for
Okay.
people to get like higher level kind of coaching. That's where you're going to get like the information that you need to move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest is just built-in support for you.
Which is great.
Yeah, but you don't have to use it all. Like you get to decide.
Yeah, but you don't have to do this on your own anymore, Carrie, if you
That's
if
the
you don't
thing.
want to.
Can I tell you, I took a part-time job at a women's clothing store boutique just to say I just can't do too much. But my heart is in the work, the actual
Yeah.
client work, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's like burnt out. So um yeah, not being alone and isolated and doing it is so
Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't put any questions into today's
It's fine.
office hours, but I already did think about what could really help me, and that would be setting up, yes, an expense plan that works for me. Because I did leave the state early, so
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
did cut my pension a lot, and I'm just getting by. So it's,
Yeah. And
I
the
do need to do the financial planning. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is that the way that, not all, like, let's be clear, not all, but the way that a lot of insurance plans are set up, they are not set up in a way to like, they're like, oh, this is like a reasonable and customary um, reimbursement. They're set up for this is how much we can get people to say yes to. And they will go down as low as they can. And,
Mhm.
we just had a situation with United Healthcare
Mhm.
where United Healthcare has been getting these crazy, crazy returns for their, the people that have their stock.
Yeah.
And then everything happened with the shooting. And then they stopped denying so much care. Like they actually kind of shifted their policies for a minute.
Hmm.
And you know what the stockholders did? They sued
dropped.
Healthcare.
They sued.
They sued. They said, you promised us that you were going to do all these things to keep denying people so that you could give us even better
Wow. Oh
returns.
my God.
How dare you change your strategy?
How horrible is that?
Right? But they have all the money to do that because they have been getting these great returns. Like, as therapists, if we had invested in United Healthcare 20 years ago or 10 years ago, we would be making more money from our stocks than we'd ever make as being actually
Therapist.
being there, contracted with them, unfortunately.
Yes.
Right? They're people that they are beholden to. First is the stockholders. Second is the actual members and patients, right?
Mm.
Where are we? We're not anywhere until we as providers start to learn how to get to our insurance commissioners. We start to advocate for some legal representation, looking at the laws and changing some of those things. There is not a lot to protect us. And when you dive into some of these contracts, and again, it's not every contract, but there's some wild contracts. Like, there was a contract that somebody signed where it said, hey, if you sign up for this contract, you have to be here for a year. Okay, standard. But then you look a little deeper and it's like, well, if you don't cancel at least 30 days before the renewal date, then it goes for another year, right? Okay. I mean, not ideal that like you have to get it like in November for the December whatever, or you're locked in for another year. Not ideal, but okay. But then it was, and then when you put in your notice that you're not going to be here, how long was it, Kelly? Was it 1 year or 3 years from the date
It
of?
was at least 18 months or more.
Yeah, I think it was a year and a half.
It was
It was
unreasonable.
That you were still working with them before they
Correct.
canceled it?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think
Correct.
like in part, we want to help you figure out what really works for you and not sign stuff that doesn't, and review your contracts and get off the stuff that isn't working. And,
Yes. Yes.
do you feel
And build up.
tired? Do you feel tired?
I look tired probably. Yeah, I am exhausted. I just came back from, my son is in school too. He's a couple hours away, and I met him halfway because he needed more supplies. Now he's ready for his button-down shirts. I don't know.
That's so
And his
sweet.
pants. No, they've been in the closet. It's all t-shirts and shorts. I'm like, honey, you should. No, I don't need them. I don't know if there's a girl. I have no idea. But, and then he spent money on cologne since mom bought these new shoes that he needed, even though the other shoes were fine. He wanted to buy cologne, but not the cheap stuff. I said, what? Anyway, so that was a trip yesterday. So I am tired.
No, I just wonder around energetically how you feel towards your practice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Toward my
No,
practice.
you don't look, I would never say you look tired.
You can tell me. You can tell me. I love working with my clients. It's easier. I don't want to say obviously, but it's easier when I've been working with them because I want to know, I want an update. I want to know how it's going. I feel that connection, that human, but these calls, I can't even call back anymore. I do need to put on hiatus.
Yeah, that's a sign, right? That something needs to change. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So we
And
have
how many new patients, because they therapy shop. Maybe it's because we're saturated in New York with therapists, but
it's not always. So there's two parts. So one is that we highly recommend coming up with a process for when you're full. And that process should not be a waiting list, because waiting lists will make you even more crazy. So we have a whole process that we walk you through in business school of what to do instead of a waiting list. Second part is people are shopping sometimes for therapy because they're really looking, like they want to figure out, like, how do I feel better? Like, what actually needs to happen for me to have a shift? And oftentimes we as therapists are not taught how to have those conversations and check in with clients and figure out what their expectations are and help them understand, help them manage unrealistic expectations, right? That's a real thing. but also like make sure we're on track when they're just like, you know what, I just can't even sleep at night. Like, okay, our first thing is to figure out how to get you sleeping at night. Like that's
Yeah.
number one. Like, how would you know that therapy was working? And it's an interesting thing because, you know, even since the beginning, when I would talk about like checking in with clients and asking some really specific questions at the end of each session, at the beginning of each session, people would be like, "Oh, so you're a CBT therapist?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. Like
Uh,
that is not me." But I am someone that like, especially when people are paying out of pocket, they have an expectation of like, I've waited maybe 6 years, maybe 10 years, maybe 2 years. All this pain has like built up for this period of time, and now I'm coming and I need to like figure out how to shift and feel better. When we give people an experience where they feel better relatively quickly, I
mhm,
think
mhm.
one part of us thinks, oh, well, then they're gonna bolt, right? And they're not going to finish out therapy. But in most cases, if we tell them and we properly prepare them, that bit of like, oh my gosh, this like flight into health actually inspires them to do the work. And we let them know, like, hey, I can get you feeling better like pretty quickly. We can make an adjustment, but for long term, for you to like be able to hold this and for this to become your new normal, right?
Yeah.
I can see you've been to 4 therapists. You are clearly searching for something. I want me to be your person. And if
Mhm.
what we're doing is not working, I want us to talk about it so I can
Mhm.
change things up or I can find you what will work. I don't want you to have to shop for a therapist ever again. I want to be the person to either help you or find the person that's going to help you. That's my
Yeah.
guarantee, right? I can't guarantee that like what we do will absolutely work, but I can guarantee I am with you on this. And that
Mhm.
kind of conversation, like that does change the dynamic where people are like,
Yeah.
not just like, well, come on in, we'll see.
That changes how you feel about the work too, right? So like you want a business that you get excited to run as well as the clients you get excited to see. It's both.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what we love to help with. So
So, and the reminder email this morning, or was it yesterday when I don't know, about today's the last day for the special that you have.
tomorrow.
I'm sorry, the special, the
Yeah.
deli special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
deli
okay.
special with pickles. I like pickles, so extra pickles.
Yes.
Tomorrow at midnight it expires. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Keep going.
I would love to do this, and is there I'm sorry to ask, maybe I should have read better, but, there is a payment plan you do
Yes.
is or a pay upfront everything,
Correct. You have
is that
payment plans for, yeah, you can do
You get three
monthly.
options.
There's 3 options.
So one option is that you can pay all at once. It is the
okay.
cheapest option. It's done, right? And if you want the cheapest options, but you also want some like room for payment, there also
Mhm.
is a way to do that with like PayPal credit, so that you get like the deepest discount, and then you can basically choose your payment plan with PayPal and do that process,
Oh, okay.
which is
Hmm.
kind of cool. The second option is we have a 4 payment process, or we have a 12 payment process. That one starts with $50 for the first month, and that's $225 after that. I apologize. I do not remember what the 4 payment plan number is with the special off of the top of my head, but it's all there on the page. When you go to enroll, you can choose which feels best for you.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, also it's a tax deduction, right?
It
So
is absolutely, and I like. Did you play it all with our ROI calculator?
no.
Oh, this is super cool. Okay, let me see if I can like pull it up. I think it's fun. We're nerdy over here.
What?
You can't go wrong with a little nerdiness. So let's see. So here's our little like
Okay.
calculator,
Oh, I
right?
saw that, but I didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like what is your like right now, what would be your
Yeah.
your cash rate?
It's low, especially for where I'm at. And I don't know if it's mentally, I think that's why the business school will be helpful. I'm doing like 125 per session. I'm doing 200 for initial session.
Okay. So
And yeah.
if we, so let's see, 200, 125. So let's do 135 because that probably ends out if we're talking about new clients for 8 weeks, right? It probably is
Okay.
on average about 135. So that
Okay.
says if you saw 2 new clients, you'd need 2 new clients to make back your investment in business school, right? It's kind of fun.
Okay.
But let's talk about more specifically your insurance reimbursement. What's your average reimbursement right now?
I think it's like 125.
Oh,
What is Medicare? I'm on Medicare and
yeah.
also commercial. I think it's like 125, 130, maybe
So it's
average.
more, so you're getting reimbursed more for insurance than what you charge for private pay.
I think some of the insurance is Optum. I think because I haven't had many private pay, and I've been conscientious of, people paying every single week. I don't know. I'm old school, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I know Optima is not reimbursing you $130 a session. I know that.
Terribly. Yeah.
How much
Yes.
does Optum reimburse?
Come to think of it, it is roughly about, what do I have? One with the different plans they have, some of them are, it's roughly about the same as Medicare. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which is like 125, yeah.
Okay. So even
See,
if
I need to take a better look at this, right?
exactly. So let's just look at that part. So if we said on average you're 135 with that 200 initial and then 120 after that. And even that $10 difference of 125 if it's on average, that is $10,000 a year. That small of a shift, right? If you dive in and you find that after other silly things or non-payment, on average, you're actually getting $115 per session, then that's $2,000 per year. And again, that's only 20 clients a week, right? So depending on what that math is, right? Like these things can get a lot bigger, a lot quicker, right?
Yes. And I'm not even at 20. I like to keep it at 10. I mean, is that?
No, it's great. I think especially.
I don't know. It might not be. I mean, I'm 61 and I don't know, maybe just because
I
I'm
don't care
burnt
if you're
out.
22. I think if
Really?
that's
Because it
right
seems
for
like when
your
you're 22, you have the energy for that and the
But you really
enthusiasm and
have-
none of the damage
yeah, but you really
that came
have
from the
energy.
years.
I just, you don't have to defend what feels right for you, no matter what, is all I'm saying. Because there are things that if knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have seen the amount of clients I used to see. Even though I could, even though I had energy, even though I didn't have a chronic illness yet, like, no, I shouldn't have, because it led to other, degradation of my body and things like that. So I just want to say, like, you can create whatever the heck you want. If you want it to be 10 clients, if you want it to be 5 clients, we have people in business school that are like in their late 70s, that are just like,
Great.
I want to do 20. Like, everyone's different.
I think 15 sounds great, right? Like 5 a day would be perfect because then you're doing the record
keep. You love that. That's awesome.
5 would be perfect, no more. But
yeah. But here's the piece, right, that we look at is that you are just getting by. You left the county a little bit early. You don't have the pension. Costs are going up, right? Your ability to take care of yourself is only going to decline, unfortunately, with what is happening in our world right now.
Yeah.
And so we need to create a financial plan. Like this is also like a little bit of like 2 women looking at a female presenting person and saying like, hey, we need to get back together because we need to be taken care of. We need to know that we're not expecting somebody else to do the thing because we tend to continually be the caregivers. And most of us were not taught how to dive into the finances or how to talk about money and how to like say like, oh, this is just the math. The math says that I need to be charging $150 or $160 a session. That's just my math. Right. And again, I don't know what your math is, Carrie.
No, it's true. I'm like, what is this? It cannot be a hobby. And I gotta cut the expenses, true, but I also gotta, there's something psychological going on,
Yeah.
definitely. And that's why the business school part. When I think of ideally what I would love to do would be to have, just a practice with nobody in it and just have it be genuine, no fear of all the regulations and all the insurance, and just allow the clients to, use, bring in aromatherapy and new herbs, which is all my
Oh,
interest. But
that's great. I would love
Wouldn't
that.
it be, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe you'll be doing
maybe,
intensives 2 years from now.
uh,
Maybe you'll be sitting
maybe,
with someone. Maybe it'll be 3 clients, one each day, and you just sit down and do some like intensive work with them for 4 or 5 hours. Maybe you work with 1 client per week and you work with
yeah,
4 clients a month. Like there's a lot of options that we have. And I think now with what's happening with AI and how
yeah,
AI is tied into the insurance companies, we
yeah,
know that the insurance companies are going to be utilizing AI to take deep dives
yes.
into all of our notes, into all of the
This
other
is
things, and they're going to
the
be looking
problem.
for ways to
Yep.
cut costs,
Control more.
period.
Yes. I agree. And I'd love to do the AI for the notes, of course, but I know like people who use Chat GPT, I mean, Chat GPT owns their information. If they're going in to use Chat GPT for
Yeah.
therapy, they're not aware that that information is controlled by Chat GPT now. They own it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
pen and paper, that was my thing in the file cabinets, but that's the other headache part. That's the real headache part for me, which is holding the records for 6 to 7, and if it's a minor, possibly 20 years. That's crazy. I don't want this part of it. So, but whatever might make it easier.
We can talk with you through that, right? One thing at a time.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when there are a lot of things that like have been building up in terms of like your attention of like, oh, I got that's a little fire,
Yeah.
that's a little fire, that's a little fire. And then you sit and you look around, you're like, everything is surrounded.
I know.
And we will
I
walk you
know.
through just like, okay, we're just gonna focus, we're gonna make a little path. We're gonna make it safe. We're going to like figure that part out. All right, now we're going to go to the next part on the path and we're going to make that safe until you kind of look around and you go like, oh, wow, I feel really safe here. I feel really supported here. Wow, I'm doing really good work here. This is a really beautiful place to live. And I created
Yeah,
this.
that sounds great. I could do the payment plan. I mean, I'd love to upfront, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
do the
I
payment.
can send you
Yeah.
over the or I can put it in the chat or a little link to the
okay.
our handy dandy little payment plan stuff.
Okay.
And
It's
then again,
exciting, honestly, when I've read your stuff, it's like I get inspired. It's like, yes, I can do what I love to do. And anyway, it's doable.
We want that for you for sure.
so
Thanks.
there's a little spot in the chat.
Okay.
If any other questions come up, let us know. And
Thank
thanks for
you.
coming in and chatting with us
Oh,
today.
thank
This
you.
is
Carrie.
I'm so glad I met you both here, and it's so personal. And I never, I thought I'd get something. Somebody would say something, and that would answer my question. But this was even better. You should be billing me. Yes, more for that.
We sort of knew the way that we did it. We're like, we're not sure how many people will show up or what that will look like, but we're like, we'll enjoy whatever happens. And so here we
Yeah, I'm
are.
so glad you did, and both of you. So should I click on this, and it'll take me to the? Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
You're
Kelly,
welcome.
Miranda.
Have a great rest of your day, Carrie.
Okay.
Take care.
Have a good weekend or week. The weekend's over. I'm gonna click on this and get going. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And apparently the streaming is working. It's a little confusing to me, but I did get a link that we're streaming to YouTube at least, and it is saying like it's going. Oh, it says, well, yeah, it's very confusing. It's saying the status is not streaming.
Well, I still have to eat.
Yeah, but I got a thing that said we are streaming.
Okay.
So it's very confusing. Let's see what happens if I click on that. I'm just curious. Now live on your YouTube channel. Da-da-da-da. Yep, we are absolutely live on our YouTube channel right now.
We are.
Oh my goodness gracious. But we haven't got any questions, so all the pieces. That was kind of fun.
Mhm.
It was a great conversation. I'll go ahead and stop the stream now, though,
Okay.
I think.